ever get the feeling you're only scratching the surface when trying to understand other cultures?
Yeah.
Like, we all know it's important, right? But how do we actually get those deeper layers?
Right.
That's what we're diving into today.
Okay.
We're going to be exploring why cultural context is so important. And trust me, this isn't about just memorizing a list of like do's and don'ts.
Right.
We're going way beyond the surface here to
Yeah.
understand why this stuff really matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, are you ready to ditch those tourist trap misunderstandings and actually gain some real insight?
It's like the difference between looking at a postcard, like a beautiful landscape on a postcard,
Right.
versus like actually hiking in that landscape yourself.
Ooh.
You experience so much more when you're actually immersed in it.
Okay, I'm totally on board with that analogy.
Yeah.
So how do we even start seeing like the whole picture instead of just the like souvenir stand version?
I think it begins with recognizing that culture isn't this separate thing.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's really like deeply interwoven with history,
Okay.
politics, social structures, like all of it. You know, the whole works.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
For example, in Brazil, there's a saying, and I'm probably going to butcher this, but I'm going to try. Importância de compreender os contextos culturais, sociais e políticos.
Wow. That's a mouthful.
It means basically importance of understanding the social and political cultural contexts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wow, that sounds pretty important.
It is.
Yeah. What's an example?
It's a big concept,
Yeah.
for sure. One example of how these things all kind of connect in Brazilian culture
Okay.
is the carnival celebration.
Okay.
Now, on the surface, it's a giant party,
Yeah.
amazing music, costumes, dancing.
Right.
But like, to truly understand carnival,
Yeah.
you need to know the historical roots. Like in Portuguese colonization, the
Oh.
influence of Afro-Brazilian traditions,
Oh, wow.
even the economic realities for
Yeah.
the communities that put on these incredible displays.
That's so interesting. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, we kind of have to look beyond that surface, like spectacle.
The surface level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And understand these deeper
Yeah, those deeper layers. Yeah.
layers of history and meaning.
It's like anything else. Like the more you know about something,
Right.
the richer it becomes. And culture is so multi-layered and,
Yeah.
and fascinating like that.
So true.
It takes curiosity.
Yeah.
It takes asking questions, listening to diverse voices,
Okay.
and being open to challenging our own like preconceived notions
Right.
about things.
Right.
You know, we all view the world through our own cultural lens, right?
Right.
And sometimes that means, unfortunately, that we miss crucial details
That's such a book.
because we're not looking at it through with an open enough mind.
So it's almost like we're all kind of like detectives in a way, right?
I like that.
But instead of like, you know, solving some crime, like we're really just trying to understand like different ways of life.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
and the more we learn, the more we realize how much we don't know,
Right.
and how much more there is out there to discover. And that's what makes it a journey. You know, it's not a destination.
So true.
Yeah.
This has been so eye-opening
Yeah.
and interesting, and I feel like we've just really scratched the surface, even here today.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
This is just the tip of the iceberg, really.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But for those of us who are, you know, ready to embark on this cultural detective work,
Yeah.
what's one thing we can do like today to start to start seeing the world with more cultural awareness?
Seek out diverse perspectives.
Okay.
Actively seek them out.
Okay.
Don't just wait for them to come to you. You know, like
Right.
try a new cuisine, attend a cultural event in your community,
Oh.
explore books or films from different cultures.
Right.
You know, there's so much out there,
Yeah.
and it's more accessible than ever. You know, with the internet and everything.
That's a really good point.
Yeah,
That's a really good point.
you'll be amazed at what you discover.
I love that. Consider your watch lists officially updated, listeners. It's like, you know that old saying, like, travel broadens the mind.
It does.
But we can also kind of travel without even leaving our cities.
About-
Like maybe even without even leaving our living rooms.
exactly. Yeah.
So food for thought, listeners. How can you start exploring different cultures in your own backyard?
That's a great question.
And we'll leave you with that. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.